Hey y'all, welcome back to part 2 of Answered Prayer. Last week I shared how God answered prayers that I did not pray. And this week I want to share 2 prayers that I prayed and God answered. Now I'm going to start with the first times the first times I actually prayed and God answered. So for a later date, I'll save my testimony and how God just drew me to Himself. But for right now, I'm just going to kind of fast forward to the point where I actually prayed for His guidance. So I'll give you a little backstory. So I was diagnosed at a young age. I think I was like first grade, not even first grade, I think it was kindergarten, with dyslexia and a learning disability. Well, that really affected me in life. Like, I was that kid that just was really shy, scared to talk, scared to just interact with others. I was like awkward, and I'm still awkward today. But anyway, yeah. So school was really hard. I really enjoyed school. I really wanted to learn. I liked learning. I tried really hard, but it was so hard to comprehend. So reading, comprehending, and just anything to do with school, work, anything. Just like it still is a challenge, but it was extremely hard back then. So, um, just going through life and school and stuff, I had a lot of assistants in um, school. So I was in classes, not like completely special ed, but it was like a bridge. Like if I didn't know or couldn't like comprehend the work really well, I can go and get some assistance. So anyway, fast forward now to my time with God, like realizing that He is God and He is real and I should serve Him and I should have an experience and a relationship with Him. So I'm like, okay, Lord, if I'm supposed to talk, communicate, have this experience, I have to dig in your word. I have to get into it. I have to read it and understand it. And now, like, reading for me was super hard. It was not something I did. And comprehension, like I said. So I prayed and I was like, Lord, like, you want to have to teach me. If you want me to get into this word, I'm going to have to understand and read it. And the only Bible I had is a King James Bible. So already it's not even a language that I speak. And then also, don't even put into like like I said, comprehension. One parts of the comprehension, so to speak, of the challenges for me is like past tense and present tense. Like you will see that even in my testimony before and this one, like that concept, like present tense and past tense, forget it. And not only because it's like my comprehension level, it's because where I grew up, like we don't actually speak like English, we speak a dialect. It's called Crucian, and yeah, like that's just the way I speak. So it's like so natural for me to speak just like kind of Crucian still, even though I'm speaking in a way that you guys may understand. But yeah, so hence I tense, present tense and past tense, you ain't gonna find it really in my my language. But anyway, I'm really trying sometimes to be conscious of that. But so back to the story. So I'm like praying to God, asking Him like, Lord, I need your help because I gotta understand this book. So I pick open the book and I remember just sincerely praying this prayer and reading the words and comprehending the words and hearing sermons and comprehending and going back over those verses and just eating it up and memorizing it and just devouring it. And God like really helped me to be able to process, memorize, comprehend verses, being able to just like see the links in it. And I was just blown away because prior to my experience with God, I not only didn't have any interest in reading, but I really just could not get the words. Like, I mean, like simple words. Um, it was like I basically had like a third grade reading level I was on. And in some cases, even second grade. But even just like sight words, so to speak, I didn't know. Like the, yeah, but like they, them, all those words, like I couldn't even differentiate. But anyway, so I'm opening the word and I'm reading it and I'm realizing like I'm not only just reading the words, I'm understanding it. And I was like blown away that I could actually pick open the Bible and read it. And I remember sharing this experience earlier on, as I'm going through this experience, I'm sharing it with someone and they just was in disbelief, like complete disbelief that I was I had some type of challenge in reading. Now I shared it with them and I was terrified to share it with anyone, but I shared it with them because I was kind of just giving them a heads up that like if, we're in this group, we're in this facility where I have to take part in leading and reading and stuff like that. And I'm like, listen, I just want to let you know heads up, like I'll do my best, but this is not something that I just can like come up here and just read this for you. So I really wanted to just let them know like where I stand, and it's not that I'm just saying no, and then when I do, I just want to let you know why, So I was kind of letting them know, and they just was like in disbelief that like, what are you talking about? So they opened up the Bible and they were like, read this, read there, read this, and I'm just reading it. They're like, what are you talking about? You don't have any learning disability. You can read these things. I was like, listen, a couple months before, you couldn't open this Bible and I would not know the words. I would even know like simple, like just even like, how you read something and you're like, I get where you're going. So obviously the next word is this. No. So yeah. So long story short, that was the first time I saw where God answered. Like I was like, Lord, I need understanding and I need to know how to read this. And truly, I have seen God has just truly blessed. And I still have struggles. Like, I'm not like perfect, but I'm way better than where I was. And comprehension level in the word. And I mean, now I'm just excited to dive in and read and just, it is just a blessing. Like, a love for the word, an experience through it, and just being able to comprehend it, it's really a game changer, and I'm just very thankful that God like helped me to be able to have that experience with Him, so that I can communicate and hear from Him through His Word. So that was one, and then the second testimony I want to share. So now this is like a couple months after this happened, where the reading like God answering my prayers. So a couple months after, my aunt, my beloved aunt, I was extremely close to her, and she was sick, and she was like extremely sick, and she was in the hospital, and she was unresponsive, and she was like in a vegetable state. And I remember my mom and I going up there, visiting her every single day, and praying and singing and just crying out to God. And my heart was like just really into it. I was really praying that God would just save her. Like, I was praying. I mean, I'm new to this whole Christian thing. This is my first time ever praying for anyone in any kind of desire for anything. Like, this is my first time. And I'm praying that God will just give her a chance to accept Him. Not that she didn't have Him, but to make sure like her calling and election was sure, and that she, like, not that she didn't know him or anything, but I wanted to be sure that His Spirit will be upon her, and that if she dies, that it will be a certainty that I will see her again, or if He would grant her life to live for Him. And me and my mom came up there. We sung songs, we prayed, and I remember, sorry, I remember this day, we're there and we're just like singing a bunch of hymns, and we have the hymnal and we're just singing and praising God and praying out loud. And my prayer was like a couple of days before, just praying that God would give me a sign to know that He answered my prayer, that He answered, and that He will definitely like secure. So So we're praying, we're here, and we're singing, and the atmosphere in the room is just different. Like we are just praising God, singing out the songs. And well, I'll tell you this in a second. So anyway, so then as we're singing and we're just singing, we look over and see that she was kind of like mumbling the song. And my mom and I was like, and we looked over and there was a nurse. I think it was two, but I remember this one nurse. She was at the door looking at us because she was hearing us sing and she was enjoying like the song, she said. But so she was just kind of peeping, you know? And then she saw her mumble. And I believe that she heard the prayer that I prayed because she said, like, out of her mouth, like, God answered, like, because I prayed the prayer out loud, like, in the room a couple days before. And then she is there and she's looking at us and she is, like, in a maze because she saw her mumble the song that we were singing. And that was a confirmation for me because I was like, Lord, give me a confirmation that she is she is accepting what I'm saying, and she's like she is also just like you are sealing her. And my mom and I, we just rejoiced, we praised the Lord and just burst out in songs of thanksgiving. And I remember that woman just watching and in awe and just almost in tears with us and just like in shock. And then she had to like get back to work, but she almost just wanted to stand there and just take it all in longer. And I'm just like, what did we just witness? And we're all like in awe. And I'm just so thankful that God allowed us to see that moment where she just mumbled the song. And that in itself brought so much joy, brought so much comfort, brought so much hope that God hears, that He cares, and He wants an intimate relationship, and He's just so good. So I remember a couple months, not even months, what was it, like a month or yeah, a month or so after that, she did pass. But I was just rejoicing to know that we had that experience. And I'm just extremely grateful that God allowed us to see that and experience that. And I was extremely grateful for His mercy. And truly, like my aunt, she was a gem. I could go on stories on how much she believed in me, how much she tried to help me, and how much I was just terrified to receive that help. But I was just so thankful that I was able to pray with her before and to just be there for her in that way, to be used by God, because it's nothing about me. It's all for God and His glory and what He has done. So anyway, I just want to share those two testimonies about how God answered. And that's just the beginning. Stick along for the journey for us as we just dive into different aspects of how God moved in our lives. So God bless you all. Hope you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of the day. See you guys again soon.